Hi guys, and welcome back to Finding My Online Biz. Keith A here. I'm just doing a test live stream to see if it works. I've set up OBS and I've got myself a new microphone, and I've got myself a microphone arm, and I'm using a webcam this time, a Logitech C930E. So it's one of the latest one. It's not the 4K model. I tried using a cam link with my laptop through a DLSR, my Canon DLSR camera, and it was just too laggy. I ended up with my lips were going completely different to the video, and I watched through a whole heap of YouTube clips and videos to see how I could sort that, but in the end it was just more effort than it was worth. So I just wanted to do this little test and see if it was actually going to work and if it actually went live or not. And so if it is live, thank you for joining me. I'd like to thank all of my new subscribers. I've had a couple of new people join the channel over the last month or so. Thank you very much. And we're going to continue trying to find my online biz. And I hope that in the journey, as I start to learn how to create some income online, that you yourself will learn how to make some income online. I've been fairly lucky in the crypto space. I've made a little bit of dollars in the crypto side of things, but I really would like to make some dollars in an online business, whether that be drop shipping, Shopify, whether that be Amazon affiliate, FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, or whether that be some other methodology, affiliate marketing. I've got a few ClickBank things out as well to see if that works as well. ClickFunnels is another one where you can generate sales funnels. So there's lots of different ways and means out there. You can create a book, like an ebook through Designo, one of those products. You can pull together all of your stuff. It'll help you to put together a book, and then you could sell an online book. So there's heaps of ideas, heaps of things you can do. I suppose if you're like me, the issue is finding the time to not only generate your content, but also to generate your products and to produce a product. So that's my next big thing, is to work out what product am I actually going to sell, and how am I going to market that product. Because what I found is that, honestly, the biggest thing is traffic. If you haven't got eyeballs on your page, forget it. And I said this in my video recently, about traffic, and how that my Amazon affiliate, my Amazon affiliate was closed because I simply don't have enough traffic. I don't have enough viewers on the channel. So what I've decided thus far is I'll still put a few affiliate links in here and there, more as test cases more than anything else, because they weren't working for me. And it's not that they wouldn't work, it's just that I simply don't have enough traffic. At the moment, there's so few people watching my channel that there's not enough traffic to generate any real income. And I know that if I just spent maybe an hour every day just uploading content, working on these sorts of things like OBS and working on other things like that, where I could develop these skills. And I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? We're trying to develop some skills, and although I have a lot of IT skills and I've got a lot of other bits and pieces, I think my challenge is putting it all together into something that's coherent, that is step by step. I think I might end up having to write something, step by step A, B, C, D, until I'm at the point where it actually generates, some form of income. And so online is just as hard to generate income as it is any other way or method. Bricks and mortar has its own issues. I run a not-for-profit organisation, and believe me, when the rent comes around, you've still got to pay the landlord. So, they have their own series of challenges. What's nice about being online is that the real estate is relatively cheap. Like Shopify, I think, is $15 a month or something. You'd need to have Overlow with that as well, and Overlow's maybe $15 a month as well. So between, say, $30 a month for your real estate, I pay $4,500 to rent a building. So $30 a month isn't bad to start a business. It has a very low threshold for getting in online business. You can get in very cheap, but you can also get out very cheap too. Because if you don't put the work and the effort in, like any other business, it just simply won't succeed. And once you've made your first dollar, you can make your second dollar, make your third dollar, fourth dollar, $100, $1,000. But online is without doubt the way of the future. I get concerned sometimes because I'm in the technology field, and I look at the technology and I think to myself, only a couple of years ago, there were checkout people, men and women, on the checkouts at all the supermarkets that I went to. And they would ding, ding, ding through and tally up the cash and take my money and all of those, take the dollars and give me back my change and all those things. Those days are gone. Those jobs are fast disappearing. I went into a shop the other day and they had one person, and I would have said 10 checkouts, all self-serve. Self-service is here to stay. And so I worry about what those people who were employed in those jobs will now do. What happens to those people when other jobs? Let's look across the gamut. Look at what about transport? Transport, for an example, I believe in the United States, it's probably the same here in Australia, counts for about 62% of all the employment. That's a lot. Now, you can go and goggle it if you want, but I believe it's about 62%. That's a lot. Now, I think that transport itself and logistics will be an increasing field. It just is. But initially, they'll get more drivers. Initially, they'll need more people. But Amazon doesn't use a lot of people. It's the machine that makes the machine. Yes, they've got drivers, and yes, they've got truck drivers and all of these things, but when Robo-Truck comes, and it's coming, autonomous vehicles are coming. And guys, when it happens, those jobs they'll go. What do those people do? So that worries me a little for all of those folk, all of those people who are reliant upon those kinds of jobs for incomes. Taxi drivers. What happens when I can buy a Tesla and it can go out and make me money? So it could be my own Uber. I could go and buy a self-driving Tesla once it gets across the board as far as legislation goes, of course. And then it can go out and make money for me. Can you see what I'm saying? I then don't need to hire a driver to do that. I can just send the car out to work. Now that's great for people with dollars and who can buy fleets of vehicles, and you want to believe it, people will buy fleets of Teslas to go out and be robo-car, robo-taxi, robo-Uber. It's coming. What do all of those people do who were employed in those fields? So this is my personal feeling, is that most people over the next 10, maybe 20 years, I'll be retired, but the people coming up and even now you're starting to see it, people are working online more and more and more. There's a factory bay just up from the not-profit that I run, and it sold recently, and they're putting I think they're calling a Nexus hub in there. Now, what's that all about? Well, that's about the fact that people are working online. But we're humans. We need connection. We need to talk to people. You know, like your boss at work might be annoyed that you're talking with people, but the truth is that they've done studies where there is some banter in the workplace, productivity increases because people need connection. And so what's happening? People are working more online. They're more isolated. They're working from home. They're more isolated. They haven't got the bloke in the cubicle next to them that they can talk to. I mean, you may not talk to the guy in the cubicle next to you, but I bet you talk to somebody. You talk to somebody in the lift. You talk to somebody in the meal room. You talk to somebody when you go and grab your morning coffee. You might talk to people when you go out to lunch. You know, there's a connection there with people. What happens when people are all working online? People are going to want to come together. And so Nexus type, and what is a Nexus? A Nexus is where they just put basically nice desks, nice work areas for people to come, and they pay to sit at the desk. Now, who would have thought that? Would you pay your boss to come and sit at your cubicle? Probably not. But people are going to pay. People are going to pay. What are they paying for? They're paying for the human connection. And they're also going to pay for the internet resource. They're going to pay for the connection to the internet, to the World Wide Web, to the things that they're doing online. So they're things that are going to be absolutely huge over the next 10, 20 years. And where do you sit? I mean, for me, I could be happy to retire in my job, to be quite honest. I love the people. I love the company. I like what I do. For me, I just would like to get back some of my 9 to 5 hours so that I can do other things that I'm just more passionate about. And so you might be like that. It's not that I want to necessarily sit on the beach, though that might be nice occasionally. It's not that I really want to go and sip Mai Tais on some beach on some remote island. I would get very bored with that fairly quickly. And you might like it for the first month or two, but I want to tell you that would get very boring real quick. So we're still going to need connection, and we're still going to need those things. So those kinds of businesses are going to take off. And, there are already companies building those kinds of sites, taking old office apartments and turning them into Nexus buildings. Now, there was a Nexus type organization, a hub type organization for those kinds of workers in the States, I believe, that went bust recently. And I think that the reason for that was their growth was exponential. It was crazy growth. You can grow too fast. You can build too quickly. And if you haven't got the resources and the systems in place to handle that growth, it'll kill you. It'll kill you as much as no sales will kill you. Now, for me, in my finding my online biz, I can afford for there to be no sales for a while because it doesn't cost me much to make a few YouTube videos. Sorry about that. But, it's just, things are changing. And where are all of these people going to be employed? And so I've been thinking about that a lot, and I really want to sort of, hopefully, I got in at the beginning of the curve for IT, back in the dark ages, when Adam was a boy, right, not at the beginning, but certainly back in the 90s when it was fairly new. PCs were a new idea, the Mac had been out with the Mac Plus and things like that. There was the IBM XT, and I cut my teeth on VAX VMS mainframes. So that's and Unix, great big Unix boxes. And I was an ops operator. Probably don't even know what that is. I was one of those guys with the big jackets on, working in the 16-degree cold room to keep the machines cold. So I got in early there, and that's been a fantastic career for me, and I've really enjoyed it. But I can see the writing on the wall. Things are changing, and they're changing rapidly. And so I hope that you'd come along with me as I take this journey of finding my online biz, and I hope that you'll start considering, what could I do online? What market or what niche or what product or what service could I provide? For me, I've done life coaching for years and years and years, so I could be a life coach online. I could be a business coach online. I could do coaching. Any of those kinds of fields I would be fine at. And you might be good at those things too. And you're seeing that there's a lot of people out there at the moment selling a course. A course, how to do this and how to do that, how to get online. And it's huge. See, when I first started in IT, one of the biggest things that kicked off in the early days was IT training. There were IT training companies starting up everywhere, and I worked in quite a number of them for a number of years until the funding dried up, because eventually most people had some IT skills. And those courses, those beginner IT courses, and I tell you, some people still could use those beginner IT courses today, but they dried up, they stopped, and when I was working in those jobs, I lost that work back in those days, and I had to go down a different route, which I did. So work balance, it changes all the time. And so I think right now we've got to get on this bandwagon of online. Online is the future. Without doubt, most people will make their income online. And I'm hoping to be one of them. I'm going to continue to do these YouTubes. I'm going to continue YouTubes. I'm going to continue to do YouTube. I'm going to continue to do these online streams. And eventually, the channel will grow eventually as I get better at it and as I get more fluent in all things online. I will be able to provide more value to you, my subscribers. And again, if you haven't subscribed, and if you like my little rambling chat tonight, look, please feel free to subscribe and comment. And if you can, could you comment on, if you were going to do something online, what would it be? What business would you choose to do online? Would you sell something online? Would you sell a product, or would you sell a service? What else would you do? Would you sell training products? What is it that you would like to do and online, and tell me what you've done to try and start. I'd be really interested to know what my subscribers are thinking about on their online journey. And if I can help you, I will, of course. And if I know something about the topic, I'll let you know. I'll do a video on it. If I don't, I'll say so. And so look, this is just my little 10-minute rant here for tonight. And while I'm trying to set everything up and get these video things working, I hope that the streaming working. I hope I haven't sort of been chatting here to myself for the last 10 minutes, although, some people would think that was normal. But look, just remember, have a fantastic week, enjoy the journey, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.